Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News for January 21st, 2022. Guys, it's a bit of a somber day to start off the movie news segment because we've got a couple of people who have passed away. Loaf has passed away, and we're going to talk about some of his works today. Loaf was in Fight Club, and actually he was pretty good in that role too. I thought he was... just a phenomenal force to be reckoned with in the realm of art, of acting and music. Obviously, a lot of people recognize his music, but we're going to recognize him more as an actor today because, well, that's what he... did you know that that's what he originally wanted to be, an actor first? But because he could sing, people kind of wanted him to go into the music too. So I figure what we'll do is we'll pull up his IMDb and we'll take a look at some of his credits to just kind of reminisce and give a little bit of some grace to Loaf. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of his credits. Besides Fight Club, he was in Wayne's World, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. A lot of people will remember him from Formula 51. Let's just see if there's anything else here that jumps out. As you know, that he, as I said, he really wanted to be an actor first, and it looks like he's got a lot of work under his belt as an actor. Like, he accomplished a lot from what he wanted to do. Maybe he didn't break out as much as he wanted to, but for the most part, I still recognize a lot of his acting work. He was always big, but not like big. I mean, like, he had a presence on the screen where you're like, hey, what's that guy doing? And he was competent. Now, I didn't know really him as a person, obviously, but as somebody who had a lot of art contributing to the realm of arts, I can't say that. Well, look at this long list of works that he's done, guys. That's impressive. That is really impressive. I feel like Loaf is someone that I felt like at the age of 74. Perhaps it was a little bit too young, but I think he lived life large, and rest in peace, because, yeah. All right, guys, let's continue on with some more movie news today. We're going to be looking at The Hollywood Reporter has come out with a story about Louis Anderson. He has also passed away. So it's a bit of a downer note today, and we're going to be talking about Louis Anderson's iconic stand-up comic basket star has died at 68. So Loaf was 74, Louis Anderson was 68, but he was a big man. They were both sort of big men, and myself included. So is this what's in the cards? 68. When you're that big, guys, yeah. My doctor tells me you just can't carry on around that much weight all the time. That's why I myself have made an effort to slim down and watch what I eat. Okay, so he died Friday in a Las Vegas hospital of complications from cancer. So cancer got him, but yeah. So he had a bad case of it too. Did you guys know Louis Anderson's work? He was always he made fun of himself. You know, he was always poking jabs at himself to make other people laugh, and I always found that funny. He also hosted The Family Feud for a while, and that was cool. Yeah, he appeared in Coming to America, the first one, Life with Louis. Louis Anderson, guys, what do you think? All right, rest in peace, Louis Anderson. Let's have a moment of silence for both of these guys. All right, let's move on to some more movie news. Godzilla and the Titans live action series is set for Apple. Godzilla, really? A live action series? That'll be fairly expensive, won't it? Let's pull up what Variety has here. Godzilla and the Titans live action series set at Apple. All right, what's this? So it's going to be on Apple Plus. Legendary series continues with the story of legendary monsterverse established by Kong Skull Island. So it will be following with Kong as well. You know, the thing is this, because it was an animated thing, they would have all of those models ready to go, right? For the most part, they would just have to try to figure a way to integrate that into a series. I don't know if it could be well done, but there's a lot of stuff there to mine in that universe, and looks like they're talking about Monarch. What did happen to Monarch in Godzilla versus King Kong? They were kind of put to the background, weren't they? A little bit, or maybe that's what they were flying into the center of the universe was. I need to watch Kong versus Godzilla again, because that was a fun movie. But there's a series on the way, and it looks like Toho is going to be on board with this. Very interesting. Okay, so it's going to pull from the mythos that we know in the live action theater stream so far. Godzilla versus Kong have grossed nearly $2 billion. So of course, there it is right there. There's an anime series, Skull Island, on Netflix. I haven't watched that. Given the size and scale of the past projects, Godzilla projects, the Apple series will no doubt look to capture some of the awesome power of the Titans on the small screen. Apple has primarily focused on more grounded fare with its streaming shows thus far, but they have released more epic shows like Foundation and Invasion, as well as prepping the sci-fi series Wool. So, guys, what do you think? A Godzilla live-action series set for Apple. As I said, those character models will already be there. They just got to use them, but it's marrying them into real footage and making them feel like they're actually there instead of us watching like a cartoon screen, right? It really depends on which direction they go with. I feel like if that's the only way that we can keep it going, fine. If that's the way the Godzilla's got to go, that's fine with me. All right, let's go over to Screen Rant. Scream fan poster imagines Kirby return in Scream 6. Guys, have you seen the new Scream movie? I know a lot of people wanted Kirby from Scream 4 to come back, played by Hayden Panettiere, right? She was one of the best parts of Scream 4 for sure. And I thought she died, but I guess if you can stretch the realm of, well, maybe not, then maybe you could bring her back. But I'm pretty sure that she got run through, didn't she? I'm going to have to watch Scream 4 again. But people have been calling for it, and who wouldn't be, because Hayden Panettiere is just awesome. And yeah, that's a way that they could use their legacy characters a little bit more. So somebody's saying April 2024. Well, if Scream continues its run at the box office, like running up 35 million, it's going to be maybe down to 15 to 20 million this weekend. So it's going to round out about 80 to 100 million worldwide. Actually, maybe even more, because Box Office Mojo did a really poor job of posting those international numbers. Maybe I'll pull that up right now and risk skipping some frames in the live stream. Yeah, there we go. There's the more respectable international numbers for Scream. The domestic numbers were 37 million after the long weekend in the States. So 37 million and then 17 million internationally. So 54 million. And that's what I heard. I heard it was around 50 million internationally. I look at the international numbers a lot more than the domestic numbers. That's just my thing, because that gives you the full numbers. I know that the domestic numbers are important for us here in North America, but I also like to look at the international numbers. It's just to tie everything in, to figure out exactly how much it's making, because sometimes one of those numbers can be misleading as to how well the film is actually doing. Like, it could be a domestic bomb, but internationally it's done well. Bond was a good case of that. Bond did not as well in the domestic market as people wanted to. No Time to Die, but it did well, very well internationally. The Fast series, Fast 9, is exactly like that too. But Scream 6 with Hayden Panettiere, Kirby back, that would be awesome. That's just a fan poster. That's just having fun. And you know what, guys? That's how it works on this channel. If you don't know, I just go through the movie news headlines that I find out there daily. And I figure I might as well turn on the camera and share with you guys. And if you have any topics that you want me to talk about while I'm doing the live stream, please, by all means, come in and we'll talk about it, because there's things that we can comment on and explore, flush out some of these ideas. And I'm not going to bore you with long stories about my past and the same stories over and over and over again. That's just not my style. It's not my bag. Okay. Now, with that being said, I think we will continue on with the realm of movie news. And we're going to talk about the Batman. Now, guys, if you didn't know, the Batman had a couple of new posters up this week, and I've put out a short for that. The second one was my favorite, and everybody's been talking about the Batman. But there's been a couple other stories that I haven't seen posted just yet. And Batman was a little skeptical, Batman. Robert Pattinson was a little skeptical at first, taking it on. He didn't feel like he could live up to the gravitas of it. So we're going to look at that story, and we're going to talk about the runtime, and we're going to talk about the Penguin too. There's a story out about the Penguin where Matt Reeves had some inspirations from, and I feel like that's something that we should take a look at. So let's go over to Screen Rant and see what this is about Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson thought he was terrible when first filming The Batman. He thought he was absolutely terrible as The Dark Knight when first filming the Batman movie with director Matt Reeves. Really? Why? Why is that, Robert? See if he gives us a juicy quote. These articles always have to recap, like who's in it and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so taking inspiration from year one, we know all this stuff. Come on, give me the meat. Give me the meat of this article, guys. Okay, here we are. Read what Pattinson had to say below. Quote, your first thought is, oh my God, I'm absolutely terrible. There's a whole different language, body language. You have to learn to make it do what you want it to do. If you look much into the light, it looks completely ridiculous and you're wearing a Halloween costume. If you look too much into the light, yeah, because you're wearing mascara underneath all that stuff. Interesting. But if you're looking like 2 millimeters down, it's like, oh, that's completely totemic. Totemic. Ooh. And like it looks exactly how it's supposed to look. But to learn how to feel that and learn how to react to how the light hits it takes forever. So he had to learn how to use the cowl, is what he's saying, and wear the costume. Maybe feel that presence as Batman. So it took him a little bit of time. There's no problem with that. I'm sure even Michael Keaton said in Batman Returns, there are times when he was wearing the suit that it just almost took him out of character because it's daunting. Like the one scene that he had the biggest trouble with, Michael Keaton did, was when he had to take off his glove and take out Selena Kyle's claw. He said he had real trouble with that because he wasn't acting like Batman then, but he still had the costume on. He had to act more like Bruce Wayne. I'm sure it's daunting. So Pattinson says here that yes, he had some struggles with that, and I don't blame him for that. So what else? What other Batman news do we have to talk about today? So a couple of things. We're going to talk about the Penguin, and the first soundbite of the score came out from Michael Giacchino. Okay. And let's talk about that right now. All right, guys. I can't play the song for you for copyright reasons, but if you want to go listen to it on YouTube, it's called The Batman Michael Giacchino Water Tower. And you get that dun 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 from the what you got in the trailer. And if you don't know, those notes are from, what is it, the third and bass of a scale of the minor scale. And if it's supposed to sound familiar, guys. So let's say I'm playing the third of the, no, it's the fourth, right? So, dun, 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 dun. Okay? Dun. Oh, I can't see my guitar. Dun, 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 dun. Now, if you don't know what else uses that, they used it in the trailer too. Something in the way. You know, I'm not going to sing it because it's terrible. I wouldn't be able to do it justice. Something in the way. Yeah, I can't do it. I don't have my voice warmed up for it. But you know where that comes from. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys will be able to, you know, we're just having fun with this. And Michael Giacchino's theme for the Batman has been released. I wouldn't say it's the main theme because it says water tower, so it's just part of it. But it has those little bits of it, and I feel like, yeah, that's worth sharing with you guys, right? And finally, everybody's going to be talking about the Batman runtime. I can't play this trailer for you guys. Stop that. Oh, God. IMDb. You're messing me up, man. You are messing me up. Anyway, it says on the Batman, the runtime right at the top of the IMDb page, it's going to be 2 hours and 55 minutes. And I apologize that it's not working out as the way that I wanted to. There we go. PG-13, 2 hours and 55 minutes. So just under the 3 hour mark. Now, I did make a small video about this earlier this week, but I didn't really make it the main focal point of the story because I wanted to focus on the two new posters. But the runtime being 2 hours and 55 minutes may be too long for some people. And I have my doubts about the runtime too, because I like movies to be around 2.5 hours unless you are expecting a huge long epic. Now with the Batman movie, as I said, it's a simple bad guy versus good guy story, so you're going to be putting in a whole bunch more stuff in there. We know that he's going to be using a detective story to figure out what it is the Riddler wants, but we know already that the Riddler is the bad guy. We don't need to discover that part of this mystery. It's just watching him detect all of these things. And I hear that the detective part of the story is fairly well done. So with that being said, between that and the score, the last thing we can talk about today is the Penguin. MovieWeb has something up here. Matt Reeves' inspiration for the Penguin came from a classic movie character. Now, you may wonder which character that is. I felt like, yeah, well, what character would that be? Because he's using a lot of inspiration from a lot of things. He's pulling from Nirvana and Kurt Cobain. He wanted that to be like the Batman. So he's using another model for the Penguin. Obviously, it's not the looks of the original Penguin. But if you go on to read it, he says that he felt like Cobblepot was a little bit like Fredo from The Godfather. You know how Fredo was ashamed that, well, he was not only ashamed, he was angry that his family overlooked him and made the younger brother become the powerful one. So he was upset about that. And I guess, see, it's not clear in this series that he did it really with malice. It almost like he was duped into it. But then he said, and then he learned that he was duped into it, and he said, okay. I feel like that's the way that it happened. But he didn't go out wanting to do it to begin with. Fredo didn't want to kill Michael the right way. But that's a long story for The Godfather. But apparently that's where the inspiration for the Penguin characters coming from is Fredo from the Godfather series. So if you want to check out that article, guys, go check it out on MovieWeb. There's going to be lots of stuff coming out about the Batman now, and we're just going to have to talk about it because I feel like that's really cool stuff to know. I'm just fascinated about the Batman, and I can't wait for it to come out on the big screen. All right, let's continue on. Netflix confirms season 2 and shared hints at a universe for Squid Game. Squid Game, a shared universe. Well, what's all that about? Why? Why do we need a shared universe? Are we going to do different stories of people coming into it from different continents? Are we going to talk about the rich VIPs that come in? Are we going to look at it from their perspective? I'm pretty sure that there's not much story to tell there other there than they're greedy rich people that have no other better things to do with their money, because that was what the first season was about. At a shared universe. So what's all this? We got some quotes here. Absolutely, the Squid Game universe has begun. And this came from Variety, guys. This came from Variety. So, yeah, of course, Squid Game made a whole bunch of money. It's going to win some awards for acting, probably. Hopefully, yes. The first series of Squid Game was released last year, and they should be greenlighting this and going, but the guy who made it is just working on the scripts right now. So for season 2, he's still working on it. They gotta get this thing coming out soon. But as a shared universe, I would prefer just season 2, guys, before we bite off too much, because we don't know how long this can go. This is something like, well, how many times can we go into the game before we realize that it's going to be taken down and dismantled, right? Because that would be the ultimate end game, that the games eventually stop. We see maybe the tragedy of the people who won the game come back and participate in making the games organized and stuff like that. We saw that with the brother, right? The front man, and that's why season 2 could continue on, focusing in on what the front man has done. Well, it took some convincing. Yes. Was eventually persuaded to return for the second season. Okay. Well, that's exactly where it should go. That's all where we're going. Now, I'm sure this was a little bit bigger on Variety, but Variety has so bumps up my stream by pulling up it because it has a whole bunch of ads running on the side. And but a Squid Game universe, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think that that's something that can work? I don't know, but I'm definitely anticipating season 2 of Squid Game. All right, let's see what this Mad Max article was. I briefly went over that too quickly. Mad Max prequel Furiosa starts filming soon. Surprisingly soon. Good, because George Miller isn't getting any younger, guys. Mad Max Fury Road prequel film Furiosa is reportedly set to begin shooting in Australia sometime in the next few months. Well, that's not surprisingly soon if it's a few months. If you said few weeks, that's surprisingly soon. But it's got Anya Taylor-Joy as the younger Furiosa, and I think that's great. I'm just curious and a little bit paused at the story of Furiosa, though, because I recently rewatched Fury Road, and it's a masterpiece, by the way. But her backstory was, wasn't she one of the girls of Immortan Joe, and then she lost her arm or something, and then he didn't like her anymore, so she was cast out, and then she went to live with the people in the green space out in the desert. Isn't that her story? Is that the story we're going to see for the younger Anya Taylor-Joy? So are we going to see Immortan Joe again? Because the actor who played him is passed now, so they would have to recast him, which is doable because you don't really see all of his face or anything like that, and he would have to look a little bit, hopefully, younger. But if that's getting underway in the next few months, that's good, because the original Fury Road took more than a year in production. It got delayed. They wanted to go back for reshoots, and I hope we don't go through that same process for this, even though it paid off for Fury Road, because it was just breathtakingly beautiful. And Furiosa, guys, it's a project that I'm really looking forward to. All right, let's look at the Twitterverse to round out the day in the realm of movie news, to see what else is trending out there. And it'll just confirm some of the things that we've seen today. The Crow's Shadow and Bone. Rachel Ziegler will appear on the Graham Norton show. Ziegler. What's she from? Is she from West Side Story? Is that what she's from? I can't remember exactly. Loaf has sadly passed away at the age of 74. Yes, we saw that earlier. Rest in peace. Lana Del Rey has released her new song Watercolor Eyes for the Euphoria. Yeah, we saw that earlier this week too. Guys, I'm a huge Lana Del Rey fan. If you are a fan of hers, I would go check that out, which I will do once this stream is over because, come on, I like it a lot. All right. Let's see. Twilight director Catherine Hardwicke on Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart. They've both been able to greenlight incredible, interesting films that never would have gotten made if they hadn't signed on. They've helped indie films and filmmakers. Huge applause to them. Yes, Robert Pattinson did go to the indie films to try to hone his craft, and that was respectable. Kristen Stewart, not a little bit she did, but she's always been in the foreground for a lot of people. The camera loves her. She's got a great presence there. Oscar Isaac has reportedly in discussions to play Desi Arnaz and Aaron Sorkin's being the Ricardos around the time that Kate Blanchett was being eyed as Lucille Ball. So originally it was going to be Oscar Isaac and Kate Blanchett instead of Nicole Kidman and Skyfall villain guy. No Country for Old Men, right? I forgot his name. Okay. Oh yeah, here we are with the Godzilla story again, guys. We'll keep our eye on that. I guess. Yesterday must have been Evan Peters' birthday. The first Quicksilver. What was his name? In Ralph Boner. Happy birthday, Ralph Boner. The runtime of Matt Reeves' The Batman is 2 hours and 55 minutes. Yeah. What are your favorite movie posters? Okay. I think that's it, guys. I think that's going to have to be it for today. If there's any other stories in there that you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments below. First, look at Elle Fanning in The Girl from Plainville, an 8-episode series for Hulu. Wow, that doesn't even look like her. She's doing something weird with her face. Yeah, I don't know what she's doing. That doesn't even look like her, though. She looks a little bit like Cara Delevingne there, too. Huh. And that's where we were yesterday. So, guys, we'll leave it at that, because there's not really too much more to talk about in the realm of movie news for today. Guys, we do this every day, 12 to 12:15 p.m. live. If you want to participate in the chat, this is where we talk about movie news. I will respond to comments in the chat once we get a little bit wider recognition. I'm still ironing out the kinks to see what my computer can do without skipping frames. But once it gets uploaded to YouTube, those frames get a little bit evened out a little bit more. I'm just trying to figure out my system and my setup. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, once I get this ball rolling, you can see what's happening here. I do the live show. I find stories that are resonating with people. I'll create a small short from that and put that out later on in the day. If there's ever a trailer that drops, I'll do trailer reactions as quickly and as promptly as I can, and that'll always be up. And then when I'm allowed to go back to the movie theaters, I do movie reviews on the weekends and such like that. That's what you'll find here on Mirror Domains Movie News. Guys, join us next Monday for the next episode. The box office roundup too. Yeah, we'll take a look at that because I'm rooting for Scream. All right, guys, that's it.